Hello and welcome to another episode of Cooking Mad, where the rules are made up and the recipes don't matter. Thank you for joining me. We've got chicken broccoli cauliflower casserole from paleoglutenfree.com. Bruschetta grilled chicken that I'm just gonna put over salad from Tasty Thin. Easy lace cookies. I was gonna make these for my coworkers because I'm like dying to bake something sweet, and these seemed really easy. And I don't know if I'm gonna get around to all this today. And a crock pot kale and chorizo soup from Family Freezer. Not sure how that's gonna be. I had a bunch of chorizo left over from another recipe that I ended up not making. But yeah, really unsure about that soup. Okay, so I'm doing the kale stuff first because it's supposed to be on low for 6 to 8 hours, and right now that's putting us at 11:30 p.m. and honestly I'll still be up, it's fine. But also it seems like the easiest recipe in the world. I browned some, let me just show you. This is veggie broth. I browned the chorizo because I finally learned to cook the meat prior to putting it in the slow cooker, even though that seems wrong because it's literally about to cook for 6 hours. And then I'm just de-stemming an entire bunch of kale and throwing that in there. I'm gonna chop it. I feel like they didn't necessarily tell us to do that, but I think you should definitely do that. Sometimes you can make assumptions. People don't need to tell you exactly how to do things. Life lessons with Maddie. Check out this thing I just did. Probably now that I'm showing you, it's not gonna happen as smoothly as it was. Yeah, no, it's not happening. You know when you're cutting wrapping paper and the scissors just slides? That just happened to my kale. See? It's not. Lastly, I'm adding a can of diced tomatoes and voila. All right, let's be real. I'm gonna go back and mix this up. What do you think I am, an animal? No. Now you may be asking, why no spices? That's because, I'm assuming, chorizo carries such a strong saltiness to it. And then kale, cooking for this long, is going to essentially just be marinated in that. So I'm guessing they just don't want, and I'm like, the kale will be a little bitter. I'm just guessing they just don't want to make it too much, you know? You guys, I'm about to do the cast. Look, Kaylee is a 21-year-old recipe developer. Yes, girl. Okay, so several updates to be had. I used frozen cauliflower rice because other people in the comments section did it and said it was fine instead of fresh. And then a bunch of chopped broccoli. And, oh, hey, sous chef. Come here. Sit. Sit. Good boy. You earned that. Previously cooked a few cups of chicken. So you guys, here's the situation. You see this? You see this? This chip right here on my nail. We all know that I have great nails. I've taken lots of knife skills classes. Well, I may or may not have chopped a little bit of my nail off. It may or may not be somewhere in the broccoli. We're also adding in a 1/4 cup of green chili peppers, which feels very crazy to me and just kind of makes me like love this recipe author more because what a risk. Next, I am mixing together over the stove this cream sauce, which is coconut milk, chicken broth, nutritional yeast, Italian herb seasoning, poultry seasoning, salt, egg, tap here. I think it's going to take focus. So bye. Talk to you later. Actually, I am checking in because, so I don't have Italian seasoning. So I just made a mix of parsley, thyme leaves, and basil leaves. So there's that. That looks like effort. I'm taking the risk. Worth noting is that it's only a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, and this is all purpose. So if it were more than a teaspoon, I would respect it a little bit more. But I feel like we'll be okay. All right. We just made a mistake. I went to put my chicken broth here, and that was veggie broth, which means this is chicken broth, which will be real nice with that chorizo. Sous chef, why didn't you stop me? What should I do? Okay, good news. I did have some more chicken broth, so that takes care of this problem. So here's my two options. One, leave that as is. Two, dig in and like scoop out a little bit of the broth and replace it with, so like it's half chicken, half veggie. It smells kind of funky. Instagram, decide for me. Back to our cream sauce. This is a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. It's like the idea of it is that people who haven't had cheese in 2 weeks because they're trying to be health goddesses, it kind of simulates the memory of cheese. Cheddar-ish. You know how parents who have children that they love will watch them as they're like drifting off to sleep? I love watching cream sauce as it's just about to boil. And there she goes. Isn't she beautiful? Reduce to a simmer and slowly stir in a whisked egg. Whoa. I suppose I should have figured out like the egg's gonna cook. This is like really mushy scrambled eggs. I'm adding arrowroot. Think cornstarch is a similar concept. This recipe called for tapioca flour, just to thicken the sauce, and I couldn't find that, so it's not thickening enough, and I'm like out of arrowroot, so I am adding a little bit of regular flour. Sorry for failing. All right, so here's what this guy looks like. Going to pour over the sauce. I should have tasted the sauce before I like took it off the stove and put it in, but a little too salty. It's going in the oven, it's going in the oven at 400 for 45 minutes. That seems wrong to me, but whatever. Okay, so I'm on to the prosciutto chicken, not chicken. So this is supposed to be grilled. I'm using my mini grill. Okay, so for the other chicken, we're just letting a cup of balsamic vinegar come to a boil and then simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. And then literally I'm just going to place this mixture of fresh basil from our mini garden, fresh tomatoes, salt and pepper, and just a tad bit of olive oil, and set it over the chicken. The end. All right. So here is our casserole. Well, that was my alarm to take the casserole out. And that was the other alarm to take the casserole out. And that was me dropping my phone. Okay, as I cut in, it's a little runny. Ooh, do you see that seam? All right, it's gonna be a sec till this gets in my mouth. Trying to come up with a joke to tell you while we wait, but instead I'm just gonna stop it. First of all, this bite needs to be smaller, so let me just do that. Okay. It's still too hot. This is good. I would not serve this on a 1st through 10th date, but after that, fair game. Like, I would make this again. It's really nice because I crave, like, casserole when I'm on Whole30. I don't know why. I don't eat it normally. And this is such a good, like, this is such a good pretend broccoli, cheese, rice casserole. I'm not gonna lie. This is a good pretend. All right, so I need to leave for a concert in 20 minutes, and this is what I look like, and this is what my kitchen looks like. It's rough, but I'm going to eat this. They literally just said drizzle the balsamic. Sorry, I recognize like how horrible my set is here. I'm just gonna need you to bear with me. So just drizzle it. Okay. Moment of truth. We'll see how this is. It was like super simple recipe. Sorry. Please wait while we have technical difficulties. It's good. Nice. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining today's episode of Cooking Mad. I had fun. I hope you had fun. I'll let you know how the kale soup is like 4 hours from now, I suppose. I did end up going to have these despite your guys's votes. Sorry, I did it before going back and looking at the votes. I feel like there was something else I was gonna say. Okay, bye. Oh. Okay, here's what our kale and soup looks like. I almost just dropped my phone into soup. That's going to happen one day. Let's see. Hot. It's too hot. Good flavor, good use of my leftover chorizo. Won't be making again. They're not the most beautiful thing I've made, but we'll see. We'll see.